Hey you guys, Troll HDPC here, and today I would like to have a look at waterfalls. Now that can look pretty convincing in my mind, I'll tell you, especially with the flow out going down there. I was really impressed. I hadn't used them until last night, and I thought I am doing a video on this today. That looks pretty good, I think, because I was having trouble with the whole rock placement thing. You know, always everybody does the rock thing in front of the waterfalls, right, to hide the water edge, blah, blah, blah. And I found a different way to do that. And I thought I'd do a tutorial on what I did to do it that way. But I think that looks a little more convincing as a rock face now. Now, yeah, I didn't render it all the way out. I'm just trying to do this little scene here right now for you guys. And, by the way, this is a 2-hour scene, all right, with water, waterfalls, placing trees, coloring everything out, blah, blah, blah. 2 hours. 2 hours, 15 minutes, actually, to be truthful. And I don't think that's too bad for, you know, there's not a whole lot going on here, though, but for 2 hours, that's not so bad. Okay, guys, here's how it all happens. Let's come over here and actually give you a fair assumption of what's going on here. Okay, like I mentioned one other time, everything is at 50 feet when you start. So if you're going to put a ditch or anything into anything, you need to know, if you want a 10-foot deep ditch, how deep your surface is. So I made this hill here 20 feet higher than the surface itself. So this is at 70 feet for sure. So if I tell it I would like something at 60 feet, I need to have my tools back. So here, hit View, Reset Layout. You can tell I'm on a 4K screen. Okay, boy, that background is really annoying to me. I have to fix that, guys. Backdrop angle. Okay, better. Alright, so we'll come over here and we will dig a ditch. We're going to tell it 60 feet. So you come over here, tell it 60, enter, and you should be able to set your, ooh, that'll be a real wide one. Not that it matters, but, and then start doing a meandering ditch, if you will. Okay. Now, I came out the end here, and I don't have a problem with it. Some people don't like to build this way, but that's okay. Have a look at what I'm doing here, and you tell me down in the comments if this works for you guys. I'm serious too. I'd really like some comments, some input on this idea. Now come back up here, and you're gonna just face it off, if you will. So hit flatten, and go with a small brush so you don't have anything crazy like I have set there, and just get rid of that little whoop-dee that I just put in there by coming out the end. Okay, now that looks pretty real, right? Okay, now let's look at what it takes to get some water in there, because we need to know what height our water is at next, so I can build a little dam in front of that. Or tell you what, let's build a dam now, and we'll set the water to our little dam. That is cool. So we need to know what height this is, and like I said, you know that we're 10 feet deep. This is at 50 feet. This is at 60. This is at 70. So our water, we're going to say, is down this edge. How far? We're going to have to guess. So if I come down to, let's call it 68 feet, that's where we'll put our water, at 68. So then let's make this at 68, our little dam in front of it. So you come up here and tell it, terrain set to height. Let's go to 68. I don't think 500 will be good. 68 feet. Make sure you hit enter. Now you want to go to the smallest brush you have, and you're going to want the hardness definitely as cranked up as you can get it, like that, because you're going to want to do a little tiny line here right at the edge. And that is now your dam. Got a leak in the dam. Try to get that looking as smooth and as nice as you can. Do everything you need to right now before you put this water in, or I'm telling you, you will have headaches you cannot imagine. Put your speed on real slow when you're messing with this at the edge with smoothing things. I like my hardness all the way up because I want to know what's going on. But if you don't blend that wall a little better, your texture won't work good there. So you want this wall blended as good as you can really get it. That looks really good. Now, you've got some roll on there that's screwed up now. That's okay, we're going to fix it. It takes a little massaging to get this to look good, but I'll tell you what, once it looks good, I think it's nice. We'll hit the flatten again. Oh no, we have to go up to our terrain height. We have to get our terrain height back. So we'll just come along here. Build that out. Okay. Now you still have a pretty smooth edge on there going. And your transitional height is exactly 68. So, let's lay some water, guys. Our top ditch is ready. Come up here and select your water. And as long as you're... I'm going to leave everything as is. It's pretty simple here to just bring it in. Hey, what's going on here? Escape. What is that all about? That's weird. It was like locking up on me. Okay. Because you know your green arrow and your red arrow is going to be the way the lake will expand. So set your green arrow so that you're off to the left of it. Yet you have to be squared up to the front in this instance. I'll show you how you fix this lake game that we have going here though right now. So set it. You're going to probably be off this edge just a hair, but that's okay. I'll show you how to fix that. Now select it again, hit number 1. Window it, or whatever it takes to get it selected. Bring her just above the sand so you can, or above your surface so you can see it. And now you're going to bring up your object preferences. I like to just open them up, so I grabbed it and I let go right there. Drag this over here a little bit. We don't need it quite that insane. And let's get some sizes on our lake. Now, I won't do this to perfect size. You guys can mess with what numbers to get all the way to that backside. You might have to be 354.5 or whatever it is. I'll give you the basics of how we get this done. Okay? You're definitely past that edge now. So you can drop your lake to fit it in at your 68-foot level. Now, we're going to have to drop one little extra lake in here to make this gap be absolutely perfect, okay? So we're going to move this back down so it doesn't stick out the edge. Remember I told you we were going to fix that. And we should have our lake, we're going to move our lake back, but I'm going to slide it off the edge for now just so we can get this size thing figured out. Or our height figured out, rather. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. Let's get this figured out. I can always slide it. Now, if you want to go up and down just a little bit, you guys, it's kind of hard to do, but you can hold your mouse rolling the wheel, and you can go up and down. Alright, I need that over here. So let's change that with the move command. Pick pivot position. And let's set that right here in front of us. And now just run your water down so it's just kissing the top of that layer. Okay. Actually, I think we want to be just a hair below that. And I mean a hair. So that we can't see the water edge. Let's go just a hair below. Something like that. So we're kind of above and kind of below. Now you won't see the water layer as we slide this back. I don't want that though. I don't want to ever see underneath it. You know, you want to be as close as you can to that top edge. And now that'll be believable from anywhere you're looking at it, from an airplane or as you're walking by or whatever it is, as soon as you get it so that you can't see under it. Because that really loses the look of your water and everything when that's going on. Now there's a tiny thin layer, but there's no way to tell that that's going on. And now if you move this back just a smidgen, I don't think you'll see that. Ooh, there's some out there. Let's fix that right away. Tell it to flatten. Select your mouse, or select your size. Make sure you're on a flat area. Hold your mouse down. Excuse me. Come back. And you want to address that. Just so that your wall will look good when you select whatever rock facing or whatever you're going to do to that edge. You want it to look nice. Okay, so now we have our water right up to the edge. And yeah, we could move this back just a billionth of an inch to get that back nudged in there. I'm not really going to worry about it though. Now let's do the bottom part. So next you would need your tool to just go in and make a rut to wherever you want this lake to go. So let's do that. Select terrain. And we know that again it's 50 feet is the original height you come in at when you start a game. So if we're going to go 10 feet deep, we're going to go to 40. And then select your actual brush width. You don't necessarily have to match what's on top, but you probably want to be fairly close to it. That's up to you. Oops, that we do not want. Control Z. You definitely don't want that. You have to just get really close here without smashing into this edge. That is very important you don't do that. So work in real close, guys, and you'll be okay. So we'll get this width in there. Boom, done. Go back to your round again. And now you can make yourself a little pool, if you will. As everybody knows, down at the bottom of a waterfall, it doesn't just continue at the width it started at. Alright. So once you're done and you're satisfied with whatever you have to do down there for a little pool, you got it. Okay? No sharp edges allowed. You just typically don't have that in nature, so. Alright, and there you go, guys. Now you have that ditch. Now once again, you need to lay some water in here. So let's get some water in there. Right side. Click on it, drag it in here. Line it up again. It's always going to be green and red. Bring it a little past so it's stuck into the face of here. Select it. Bring it back a little bit up. Let's adjust our sizes. Let's adjust this one. Zoom right down in here. Give yourself about the same depth you had on the one above. Go around here and hit it with a real quick softening so you get rid of all those jaggies. That never looks good to me. If you have it selected on fast, you can really get a lot of work done here. And hold it down on sharp edges. Problem, we don't have our speed cranked up. I like to wind up the speed when I'm doing this. And then you can go as fast as you want. But if you have to go into a tight area, be real careful. Because you hold that on in a tight area and it really carves things up on you. But for this That's fine. I don't care. It's looking good. Okay. And last but not least, we have to add our waterfalls. And for those are nothing but effects. And those can be gotten up here. Water. So let's move our settings out here. Let's move this back. We'll move this back. Now we have our settings right here. So if you slide this slider down, and I'm not sure why they don't leave this open here some way. It's so crazy to close it because these never tell 100% what they are. And as you can see when you hover over them, they're never listed long enough so you can read what it is. Anyway, to make this real easy, click on it and it'll tell you what's going to happen there. It's a splash at the bottom with a small waterfall. Okay, splash at the top, small waterfall. We're looking for something large, I would assume, here. Okay, that is what I want. Now, to get to orient these is a little bit of a game, so pay attention to exactly what is happening when you place these. Ooh, let's back up. Control Z. Before you do anything, guys, freeze your water layers, because I guarantee you're going to mess them up. Escape. Number 1. Freeze. Okay. Now zip in here and mess with your waterfalls, because you will be playing around heavy duty to get them nice. Alright, so back up to your top here. Where were we? Waterfall, large. Splash top. Select it in here and see what you get. Hit number 1. Bring that out. Ooh, you should never do 2 at a time. It's a really dangerous game. Alright, so that's looking like a pretty good splash, but you don't know how your orientation is yet, so zip around it and look at it from different sides, and you're going to say right away, this has to be flipped around because it's falling to this edge. So to do a perfect 90, you really should come up here and turn on your snaps and get this thing to spin at a 90 for you. That's away from me. That's now out. Okay. Now turn your snap angles off. Go back to your move, number 2. And let's use the arrows versus doing 2 things at once, because you can really hose yourself up fast here, guys. But you're going to want this close to the layer of your water. And if you keep coming down to it, you'll begin to see where exactly you are. Okay. Now you can see that's throwing water off to the edge there. That's not working for me. So I'm wondering if we're still 90 degrees off. Let's give that a shot. Where are we here? Radius, that's up here. Select your 90 in your snap angle. Oops, we went too far. That's one drawback with this tool. Okay. So today it'd be good. It has to be spun around the wrong way. Alright, so we'll turn the snap angle off. We'll do this manually. See, but I don't see it working in real time. Okay, here we go. Boy, that's really handy when it does that. So maybe it's off the edge too far. Or it's back in there too far. There we go. It was stuck behind the wall, if you will. But now it's too far out. It doesn't make sense now. We'll fix it. Alright, now this is making sense for which way you turn this. Got it? This makes all the sense in the world now. Oops. Make sure you only are selecting what you're trying to use, by the way. Boy, it will not let me do the shift and twirl, if you will. I wonder why. It's not letting me place this like we normally place stuff. Like I say, it's a little bit of a game to get this right. Put the green arrow parallel with your wall. And that should give us what we need there. Now we need to just get the height right. That looks pretty good. That's convincing. I'm going for that. Now let's bring it back towards the wall a little bit, and we should have it. So if you hold your control down, grab your arrow here. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm liking that. Hit escape. Let's have a look what we got over here. That's looking pretty good. Now move it left a little bit. I'm liking that. So like I'm saying, you will spend some time. Number one, select it with a little arrow. And by the way, the icons and the object helper is available for this too if you guys want that stuff turned on so you can see what is going on. But for me, it drives me a little nuts to see it all. It takes away from what's going on, so I normally have it off. We'll leave it on for your knowledge, because that's going to happen to you. You're going to need to know where it is. Now, once you get it looking good, let's do this. You see how this is down here? One touch, it's done. Oops. Let's copy that. So if you just select that with a window here, we can then I want to copy this exactly where this is, so I want to slide over a few of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to this for move, turn on your snap grid, hold down your shift, or wait, first window, oh we already windowed, hold down your shift, hold this arrow, let go of your mouse, hold the shift down, let go of your mouse, hold the shift down still, and let go of your mouse. Now that looks pretty realistic. I'm going for that. See, now you don't have to fix them all. They're all in a row. Okay, so there's our water out. Look. Now we need splashdown. And splashdown is a little bit different. Same to do, it's just a different icon. Come back up here again. Water object, and you gotta pick large. See, this keeps getting out of your road here. Splash top. Large splash bottom. So that's what we need. So we need to know how it's oriented, and I don't know how it's oriented right away. So let's just start with where we can see it. And then we'll move it where we need it to be. But to have it in the way of this other one will drive you out of your tree. You won't be able to really tell what's going on. Select it with number 1. Let's move it way up in the air here. And now zip around it with, you understand, holding your right mouse down, I hope. And moving your mouse to the left while you're hitting one of the keys, a D or an A. And that's how you zip around it like this. I'm not really... I guess. Well, you'll find out in a second which way. It looks pretty uniform both ways, but I think it's the other way. We need the water to look like it's going downstream from the waterfall. So if you tug on these, let's go straight down here so we can place this. It's so hard to place these with all the water making the mess, but alright, so that's what I thought. We're 180 degrees out of phase. So hold down your shift key and change that. Now you're going to want to aim it downstream so that it looks like the erosion from the waterfall made it go the way it's going. Wow. It works for a little bit and then it changes course. That's goofy. See what I mean? How this would have to be worn out a little bit more now to be effective for what's happening here. So try to get your washout to work with what you have, or change what you have to work with what your washout's doing to make it look more as real as you can, I guess I should say. That's looking pretty good right there. And now we're going to do a couple more of those. Just so that it looks real. And you're going to have to change the direction of the other ones or it's going to shoot it into this wall. But we're going to need at least one more down here. So copy and paste. And once you have it, reselect it. Hit number 1. And now we're going to change that by holding Shift and just click anywhere. And you're going to want that arrow to probably be facing right at the back wall. Excuse me. That looks pretty darn good, I think. We need a little more happening here, though. Well, maybe not. That's pretty good. And there's your waterfall that fast, guys. I mean, it wasn't ultra quick, but that's not bad. I mean, that looks real. Now all you have to do is color your wall. You come up here to your palette, select whatever you want to do for a rock look, if you will, and you're gonna just color that, make it look real. Give yourself some kind of rock face kind of look, whatever you're gonna do for your render it however you'd like, texture it however you'd like. Get some sand going down the bottoms, my favorite for the bottom of those things, and that's looking pretty real. Kick in some trees, get a couple houses, some bad guys going, and let the bullets fly, right? Let them fly where they might. But this looks like a pretty convincing scene after a couple hours over here. Like I say, make your water where you have, you know, some different sizes going on, and mix it up a little bit. Get yourself the waterfall going with the trees, a couple houses, and some rednecks, and we got a scene going on. You guys play around, have fun, enjoy. That's it for now. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know. Do you like it? I'm Troll HD PC. Until next time.